This is JD coming to you on Sunday 11. This is November 1st for me, 7:32 p.m. Central. This is the Mobile Trader Network Mastermind Group. And we meet every Sunday, guys. So we'll let everybody kind of come in and roll through um, and just hang out. If you're watching on Facebook, I put it on Facebook too. Come on through. We have the link in there. Just come on in. And this is open to everyone, just like-minded individuals, like-minded friends and family, guys. So we'll get started. Just 1 second. I'm gonna pause it and then we'll come back to it. Off the road now. Baseball season is officially complete. So thank y'all for coming, and we'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what I want to hop into tonight for our mastermind group. We meet every Sunday. We didn't meet last Sunday. I think I put up something a little different. I was out of town. Actually, the World Series was going on, so that's part of my job. So I had to be there. Well, I'm happy that I was able to be there, but still, I'm ready to roll, guys. So tonight, what I want us to do is I want us to visualize, and I'm very big on visualizing. I need to slow down and do it more, but I mean, you don't have to close your eyes. Whatever you choose to do, or however you choose to do it, visualize yourself being successful in whatever it is that you want to be successful in. I mean, from the standpoint of specific, whether it's you want to be a successful stock options trader, from the standpoint of I would like to trade cleanly, properly within my parameters, within my trading plan, follow my process to as to perfection as it pertains to me, and the results will be what they are. Or I want to be a better husband, father, son, friend, family, things like that. And we have to get specific when we establish goals and visualize this. And let's also focus on not shooting down somebody else's idea. If if their stock pick isn't what you pick, you know, hey, that is what it is. If I'm not a big debater, I just it takes my energy, man. I don't need to convince you, but I know how I feel about something, and sometimes I may not want to articulate. I can't articulate the exact details behind it. It's just something in me, that matches up with what I'm doing. And I feel the same with everyone else. If you feel strongly about a stock and it's a long-term play, and you like that particular stock, run with it. If there's no congressional hearings lined up, or Department of Justice or SEC setups like Nikola, I mean, be cautious with that. But if you're looking long term and you have a play, you don't have to post that in Facebook unless you want it, unless you have doubts. And then if you have doubts, you're gonna get six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, and you'll still have doubts. So you make the call, but the idea is to line up your time frame, the your time, the window of opportunity that you feel that you're going to give yourself to make this a business decision. And if you lose money in this endeavor, it's the cost of doing business for the thesis that you decided upon. But the one thing that kind of can help us to save us and protect us from emotional movements is initially establishing, like, okay, I feel that I like Apple, the stock AAPL, ticker AAPL, long term. Because that's funny. I'm sorry, guys. Look, now this isn't scripted. This pattern right here. If I go back to the cues, I mean, Apple it pretty much dictates a lot of things. That's the mirror image of the cues right there. This is a funny, not funny, but I mean, it's weird how patterns, certain tickers can they guide the market. But anyway, if if I'm in the Apple, I want a long term play on Apple. I feel strongly that in the next 5 years, Apple will be higher. If I buy Apple now and sink 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 in Apple, 5 years from now, the probability of Apple being higher than it is today is strong in my opinion. So to boil it down to, that's all I need, man. If I feel that Uber, my wife loves Uber, if flying taxis is her thing, who am I to say, they're not going to have flying taxis? This is all fact. That's that. Who cares what other people think? If you feel there are a lot of other parameters that we can have that we can dive into. But if you feel it in your heart and soul that you want to dive into that particular company, if you've done your research and due diligence, whether it be, hey, I buy McDonald's every year, I buy McDonald's every week, or the McRib comes back every 3 years. I'm hopping in when the McRib comes back. McRib just came back this past week. So, I'm going to McDonald's. I'm just giving you an example. There are certain ways people have uh, a rhythm to the market. Price has a memory. So the next thing I want to talk about tonight, I want to pull something up for you. It's a phrase or a quote by Earl Nightingale, and I like Earl Nightingale, motivational speaker. Larry Williams turned me on to him. I had heard his name before, but could never really just dug into him. But this phrase right here, this is a big thing. It talks about our salary and how we can dictate our own salary. And I know a lot of people talk about the Illuminati and different things about Freemasonry or whatever. But one of the tenets in Masonry talks about setting your own wages, and that's in every, it's in multiple sects or in cultures where a man or a woman, we can set our own wages. We can establish our own wages. And I know we have business entrepreneurs in here. I know Shay Cleo is one. Dr. Kelly is one. I know Lakeisha is one. Uh, let's see. I'm thinking Kimberly. I'm not sure who all is, but when it comes down to it, here's the phrase that I like: the amount of money we receive will always be in direct ratio to the demand for what we do or our ability to do it and the difficulty in replacing us. That is one of the things that I learned years ago, but I didn't really understand how to apply that, become irreplaceable. And as we're becoming keener traders and investors, we want to run our own business, but also if we're working a 9 to 5, we want to put ourselves in a position to where we are irreplaceable. Whether that means going above and beyond. I know uh, the gentleman that what's let me I got to get his name because I got frustrated with the guy. Older guy has a lot of books out. I'm gonna get it to you. Let me get it to you. Napoleon Hill, Master Key to Riches, talks about going above and beyond, doing more. And if we provide a service that is unexpected, we solidify ourselves in someone's mind, and then we do it over and over again. And then eventually, if we're, on the other side, we're doing our trading, our studying, we're going above and beyond, whether it's in our free time, whether it's in coming to mastermind meetings like this. Additional, we're building, it's sweat equity, but mental sweat equity. And it's going to, I believe exponential returns will come from what we're doing on a daily basis. So that's one of the phrases, the Earl Nightingale phrase statement. The amount of money we receive will always be in a direct ratio to the demand for what we do. Is what we do trivial? I mean, when we're younger, of course, yeah, hey, telemarketing, whatever it is. Uh, I always took pride in whatever I did. I wanted to be the best in the room at what I did. So if I was just going to be at that telemarketing job for a few minutes, I wanted to take something from it, whether it's learning how to cold call and just break the ice with someone, or learning the script and memorizing it and adding my own DNA to that script. Our ability to do it. Are we experts in our field? And the difficulty in replacing us. Are we in one of those industries where the banking industry, where it seems like they're almost trying to replace the the tellers at the desk. I mean, the number of tellers are going down. So, what's the next move? Do I learn how to program AI? Do I learn to code? Do I just get in this market and become irreplaceable as a trader, investor, uh, and is just a member of these communities? That's one of the things I focus on. I talk to my son, daughter, and wife. We discuss that. And here's the next one Earl Nightingale mentioned. I like this quote right here. Our rewards will always be in exact proportion to our service. If you don't like your income, you must devise ways and means of increasing your service. Okay, that's big. Because if you're on a salary, it gets to the point where you say, "Oh man, I can work another 50 extra hours and my salary is going to be the same." But Napoleon Hill, I've heard him say that it's not the boss that we work for who we may be impressing at that point in time. If we're going above and beyond within the parameters that we're given or the confines that we work within, we just have to continue to perfect our process and you know believe that something else is coming before we step out on our own and make something else happen. One thing that I took from Earl Nightingale is that every day you wake up and you write in the book a salary that you want. And initially, I put like um, $1 million, but that I mean that's too broad from the standpoint. I wanted, then I narrowed it down to I moved it down to 25,000 in trading because when you look at it, there's about 252 trading days per year. If you pull out $100 per day, which I mean, you don't shoot for a monetary figure, you shoot for a process and a repetitive process, but $100 a day, 500 bucks a week, you're sniffing at 25,000 in that time frame. And if we look at it, we can, and really you can pull 70 bucks out of the market, give or take in a day. Uh, it's not a hard thing to do. The hard thing to do is keep that $70 because we can get it and then I can get overconfident and I can build up a position too big and the randomness of the market, I'll get ahead of price, but and boom, it takes it back and then you're rebuilding. So the, the next step between learning a process and learning a strategy and having an edge to the market is the next hill to climb is ourselves because we'll find it a lot of us when you first start out there's going to be my son even says it, there's multiple peaks and valleys within um, the journey of knowledge and it sounds like a big philosophical statement but it is. It's like I mean you start out over here on the left and realize you don't know anything. Boom, I'm chugging along. Oh, feels pretty good today. Oh, I learned something else. I don't understand how to do it. I'm kind of getting the rhythm. Then you do this. I figured it out. I've mastered my process. I've learned how to basically trade support and resistance. I know when the market's going up in my mind. I know when it's going down, and there's nothing that's going to change my mind about that. And then one of the things that we take out of context is that, you know what, trader psychology comes into play, and also the fact of that there are times in the market where anomalies happen. And I heard it on Mo's call last, just about 30 minutes ago. A gentleman came on and said Trump is holding up a sign on a particular meme and says, "My tweets trump your technical analysis." And I promise you, we can have the perfect technical analysis, but over the short term, there are short term anomalies that we cannot, basically, we can't account for. Now, we knew this was a double top right here on McDonald's coming up to a level of resistance. And if you're not familiar with technical support, I mean, technical analysis, it's just it's market psychology. It's price action. Is where buyers and sellers meet a consensus on an agreement in the market, and price action follows. But when we had it, basically, we were coming out trying to form a cup and handle, trying to come out of this, deciding if we were going to fail at. Now, this is a legit double top, so there was going to be some type of uh, static at this price level. But who knew it was going to be Corona? Who knew Corona was coming right here? You can predict all you want, saying, "Yeah, my edge told me that it was going to." No, it didn't tell us this. It told us that we were coming up to a level of resistance, potential level of basically it was a supply zone right here. Now, the way we react, the level of volatility, and the level of fear and panic comes in is when we see the volume and it's sold off. So there are times where we learn the edge, and then we have to also factor in the fact that every edge isn't perfect. So I just wanted to touch on those tonight. I know I got a little passionate about it, but I wanted to. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, real quick, is I'm looking at I'm looking at the market right now. I'm in the queues. I'm short the queues actually right now, and that's the ETF basically for the Nasdaq. Nasdaq 100, but it's a tech technology ETF, technology heavy ticker. But we had a double top on the Qs. I hopped in. I've been short for a period of time. So this is a weekly chart. I'm going to go to the daily and show you where we are. And when I say double top, guys, you can almost see it's an M for me. The Let me draw this out. And I just look for patterns at certain times. And the double top doesn't have to be like exactly horizontal, but we're in the because you have ranges and regions, and it's sold off. But where we are right now on the charts, in my opinion, is in a holding pattern. I'm still short. I may hop out tomorrow because who knows what's going to go down. And if you can tell me right now with the 100% certainty that you know exactly where price is going to go, give me a break. There's a probability. If you know it, put your house on the line, make the money, and set us up in like some land off. I'll put in $100, but I mean you should be able to carry us if you know you leverage everything. Now, it I see a downtrend, but I also see a level of support, a level of buying in here. So there's a demand zone. But the thing is, if the word is if it's a blue wave, the thought process is a sell off. Now we have selling pressure in the queues right now going down to the area. I mean, it could stop at 265. We could find support right at the what's this right here? The open is 267. We just have to watch how price action goes. We can predict, the best laid plans. Who knows? But the momentum is to the downside right now. Now, if I were to say, hey, buy the cues, buy the dip right now, go long, I'm not telling you that at all because there's no signal right now for me that says, hey, it's time to go long. Even though there's a tail forming on the bottom of this, I'd wait. I'm still short the cues. I'm gonna give you another one that I'm in right now, and I'm just gonna watch how this plays out. I'm in Nicholas short, and I think all of us don't we can't fear a bear downturn in the market. I just we all need to learn how to buy puts and learn how to handle puts. It's just it's the other side of the market because someone's always taking the other side of our trade. Um, that's just part of the it's just part of the ball game. Everything isn't always a bullish play. Um, so as I go in a little bit further, I was waiting for Nikola. I've been short Nikola off and on for a minute, but I was waiting for it to fall below $20 and close below 20. Because if we see support and resistance, it stayed up, and then the CEO left, and it just hung right below 20, and it stayed above it, came back down and kind of hung out. Finally, it fell into that $18 handle, and that's when I hop back in. I'm in some $18 puts right now. No, I'm in a $20 November 20th put. So I went with the, I bought in the money. I don't know if everybody is familiar with the stock options, but I'm looking for Nikola. I mean, there's some support right here. There's the 18.18. If it falls below $18 and closes, there's a chance we start going down here and sniffing the $16 handle. A couple of dollars is a good play in an options play. Let's give you one more. I'm going to look at the SPY S&P 500 ETF right now, and everything has been like a double top. And you guys can look. You can look that up on Investopedia.com. Very good website. But you remember I drew the M pattern a little while ago on the Qs. Similar patterns. That's the top. Goes back down. This is the neckline of the top. Comes back down, finds support, goes up, shows weakness, coming down, finds support. Now, if we fall below that neckline, if we fall below 320 in that range right there, guys, and I might let me make an alert real quick. Below 320, below 320, and they say if a blue wave comes in, a lot of times they're expecting a sell-off, a market sell-off, a market panic. But I don't try to jump it. I mean, if you do, set your stops and be prepared to exit if it does the opposite. Because I remember when President Trump was initially elected, the overnight futures market, I think they were down like 700. This is before 1,500 points or 1,100 points was just, during Corona, we were living that. Um, but be prepared, guys, to just to adjust accordingly. But I think we're in a holding pattern right now, and it's going to wait for Super Tuesday. Tomorrow could pop or it could sell off. I'm not doing anything in this with the SPY or anything right now. Um, the one stock that I was also short, PFSI, IndyMac, PennyMac, excuse me. And I called it out like last week. It was setting up right at that point in time last week for a bear flag. It was just a really quick setup, and I just I was looking for an entry right here. Okay, so we had the sell off, big time. The one we wanted was where we found resistance, sell off, confirmation, continuation on increasing volume, perfect RSI sell off. That's a beautiful trend right there. I called it out last week, didn't get much love from a boy, but it, it's the bear flag of bear flags for me right now. Now we're finding I don't know if we're getting a bottom, but it's found a little bit of support, and it's a little, it's close to being oversold, but there's room. So I'm watching Penny Mac a little bit more for maybe a bounce and then a continuation down. So I'm just gonna watch that through. Let's see what the chat was. Um, and so buying puts, guys, is just is part of the game. Uh, it's part of the game. So let me. Robin put in a request for a stock. I want to take a look at MTLS, and I'll open the mic to see if Robin wants to tell me what type of MTLS. This a long term. Okay, 1 second. Okay, Robin. I think you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. So what are we looking at for MTLS?
I'm looking to get into that. I'm trying to get into 3D printing positions now that there's this drop with the election and all. And so I'm just trying to figure out best positions.
Okay. It looks like it's gunning for the um, it is gunning for that breakout area right now, the 3146, 3150. It's in that area right now of, I
To
mean,
go
this
up,
is, say it again.
to go up, or to
I mean,
go down.
it's going to keep going down to right in here. I mean, this is, I couldn't tell you with anything to say, there's nothing on here that says buy at all, on the daily. But if you're going long term and you're buying, going off of, remember, like the beginning when I was saying, if you believe so strongly in 3D printing, who am I to tell
Mm,
you to not get into that? So I think that if you do hop in, you might have more weakness down, even down to the 28 handle.
okay.
But this is the bearish of bearish trends right now.
Mm,
We could have another leg down. This is one full leg. Hadn't seen a green candle in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the entire week.
mm.
So, but it could be oversold. We can get down to the 30s. We could go sub 30. Um,
It's on the market structure there to the left, JD. What is that?
Market structure
Um, no, the next one down, next level down to the left. Yeah, there. What's that?
that's support. That's like 28.93.
28? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow anyway.
because I mean it's just not a. There's now if you're looking long term. If we look on the weekly, this is a bearish engulfing candle to engulf all engulfings. I mean, that's not, it's, but it's coming back. It had to come back down. It went parabolic and it's coming back and it's going to retest the breakout area. I mean, breakout area could be at the 31 or it could come back down into, 29. And there's a lot of support even down at 20. But I'm not saying it's
Mhm.
going to get there. But if you're looking long term, 5 years down the road,
Yeah.
hey, you have to be comfortable with hopping in and then absorbing some of the hits that it takes. But it might be, you might be gobbling up shares at a discount, when we look back on
Mm.
this in 5 years. But over a short term, it's definitely not an options trade. For me, it would be a short, an option short. But for a long term buy and hold, if that's something that you're looking at, um, we're going with the thought process of that's your thesis that you want to be the first one to the shoreline on the 3D printing. And
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to get into them. Those are two popular stocks with ARC. So I want them to drop as low as possible and then get look at getting options like
some leaps.
yeah, MTLS only goes till I think May 2021. So what I'll do is I'll just roll it over. I'll keep rolling it, you know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Let's
because I
see. And
mean, until that industry takes off, it's
okay,
not
I
gonna
mean,
be.
and honestly, it might be better to get the shares if you're looking to buy and hold for long term. It's just something to consider. And I think we have the same with SSYS, but I think there's a little bit more support with SSYS on the weekly. Let's see what the daily looks like. And if I were to just draw a basic trend line, um, we're still in the bearish trend overall.
Mhm.
And if I were to
If
just
I
go,
could get a contract for 2023, I would, but
yeah, I mean, and it's heavy speculation, and you have to live with that. Yeah, it just
mm,
there's support on this. I mean, at $11, right below 12. So we're possibly coming to some support. If you even waited until it broke the trend line to get above 15 or 16, it's not like you're going to be late to the party,
yeah.
So it's just, you just have to make a decision on that one.
What was the all-time high for that one?
On this one right here,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me find it. Oh, that's your research job, Robin.
No, don't worry about it.
Let's see. Let's see. Oops.
No, we got a lot of people waiting, so I can look at it tomorrow, because like you said, I should probably wait till around 15.
3088, give or take. You know, right
The,
in that range. So
the all-time
yeah,
high? Okay,
yeah. Well, I mean that's off of just a quick eyeball off of that.
right, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem, guys. There's anything else you want to take a look at? Drop it in the chat bar, and let's see. But yeah, Robin loves she loves 3D printing. She loves innovation, and one of the tickers that we both follow and the CEOs, it's ARC Innovation, ARC Invest. Catherine Wood is the CEO. Very open-minded CEO. I took profit in ARC. They pulled back, and they're coming back right now to a level of like it's a light demand zone, but to have some good volume in there. So that pullback, I want to see what it does. I'm out of it right now. Um, Art could be something for me in the near future to just accumulate shares off and on from the standpoint of one at a time. uh, All time high on SSYS is 120. Thank you, Cleo, Shay, and let's see here. The next stock I'm going to go over real quick, guys. I'm going to keep y'all all night on a Sunday. I was looking at, there's, I took this from Mo. Mo has been, Maurice Jackson has been watching the solar stocks for, let me mute everybody coming in, the solar stocks for a good point in time. And the solar stocks have been on a bearish run for since the end of March. So that not bearish, excuse me, bullish trend back from April went parabolic. They had to pull back. Heavy parabolic run, found resistance up here. So we have a lot of supply on solar, 72.44 up through like 77, but it's building like a light wall of support. I'm not sure just yet. 67 could close a gap down to 57, but it's something to keep an eye on. This is a ETF, the solar ETF, to kind of keep something on, keep it on your list. I'm gonna give you one thing, guys. Please, here's what I wrote down. Also, I'm seeing a lot of bad. The central banks. Okay, I keep looking at what are we talking? Bloomberg. Uh, Keep an eye out for these words: bad debt, central banks, bad debt, particular companies, bad debt, because all of the mortgage holders, residential loan servicing companies, which I had a basket of stocks. I want to ask you guys about that. Um, they're allowing everyone to go into forbearance with no penalties right now. And if we talked about the Big Short before, and there's times when things can just, how it builds up. It just can build up, and I don't know. It's more than 90 days, so we're looking like that 6 month to maybe a year out. But when you start seeing bad debt phrases in central banks, there's some panic. They can cover that stuff up for a while. So I don't. I'm not. It's time to start researching bad debt and see what the phrases are. Let's keep an eye on this company right here, PACB. Robin is familiar with that. A lot of you guys are. I've been long Pacific Biosciences. I took profit recently because we have November 2nd. They have earnings. I can't. To me, man, I don't predict what the stock will do the day of earnings. People say they can predict what the stock will do that particular day. I don't believe it. I haven't heard an expert say they can predict it, what the stock price will do on that. Now I'm saying again, that day. I'm not talking about 3 weeks from that day. I'm talking about the day of earnings. So every mentor that I've had, every book that I've read, every guru that I've paid attention to, they hop out of their option plays the day before, unless they're doing like a spread or doing like an exotic options play. They hop out the day before, and then they can come back in the day after. A lot of times, your trend will continue at some point in time, unless the earnings are just so poor. Like for example, work was on a run. I think that's Slack. It was on a run. Earnings hit it, and it just it's gone into a trading range. It's been pretty bad. And I think Team Altassin, or I don't even know how to say that thing, uh, it struggled at times, and it just had a lot of times, guys. We'll find trading ranges rather than just a big bullish or bearish trend. A lot of our stocks are going to spend a lot of time in trading ranges, and then once they do break out, that's when we try to find, we try to find a rhythm. Um, for here, we watched Visa for a good point in time for me. For I was, and Keisha knows, uh, you stick the toe in the water, comes back out, back in, back out, breakout, retest the area, guys, and then it fell below. It fell below that trading range area. So Visa is trying to recover, and I believe Mastercard will have the exact same sentiment. Yeah. So one of the things that I always talk about is that if you find a stock in a particular sector or industry, what you can do is, if you miss that stock, you can find a stock in a similar in the same sector. And a lot of times those charts are similar. I mean, you need to really research that. But Square is kind of in this field, and PayPal and things like that. So keep an eye on PACB coming up. Roku is really pushing, and it's everything is pulling back right now, guys, just to reset, kind of a reset. So let things reset and establish a return to normalcy. But I'm thinking, let's see how Tuesday pans out, because there's a lot of concern in the air. Uh, if let's say Biden and Kamala win, I don't think it's going to be an easy transfer of power at all. So I think volatility may push up. That and when I say I think, that doesn't mean, hey, let's go in and buy calls on the VIX, but let's just take a look and see what VIX calls are looking like. Um, and I don't do monthly and dailies. So I really, and I think Keisha does VIX calls. I think Kylan does VIX calls and puts. Um, but let's see if there's any. Oh boy, got a lot of open interest on the 25s. People are making a. Let's see what the. It's kind of 50-50 though. It's 50-50 on this market. And you do the November 4th, I bet that's the one that's crazy. Yeah, 15,000. We'll see, guys, because there's going to be a lot. The implied volatility is unbelievable. And that means just like it's already spiked. So at some point in time, this right here, the IV is going to get sucked out. When this deflates, the options premiums deflate. So hopefully you're out of it, or hopefully you're selling options if you're doing that. So um, that's just something to look at. Let's see what the IV on. Okay, got a little more time, but those where we're running out of time. Let's see what the Qs options are looking like. I'm currently in my Qs. I'm in a nice little decent position, but IV is low. I'm waiting for an IV spike. I wanted to get in at a low. I'm over here. Yeah, what am I talking about? IV is 53. I wanted an IV spike, so hopefully we'll get it. If I'm still short, I'm short the cues. I'm staying in, and I possibly may let this be my position may be my stop, guys. So I'm willing to risk $300 to see if my thesis is correct. So, well, guys, if you have any questions at all, please drop them in there if you want to take a look at any stocks before we wrap it up on this Sunday. But I want to keep an eye, Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is doing its thing. It's up. It was up over 14. Um, that's a bull flag right there, but it's found a little bit of resistance. We're a little bit overbought. If we come back down, there's so much. There's a lot of support, a lot of demand around 11,700, 12,000. So the pullback is comfortable into that range. The breakout has been nice. It traded in that trading range, broke out to a new shelf, and it's found a little bit of support right there, guys. So let me see what's in the chat. Oh, okay. Let's go EL. We'll go Splack. Oh, okay.
Look at Nike. I like Nike better.
Okay, let's peek Nike, and then let's peek Nike. All right. It filled that gap almost. That's a Kylan. I don't know right now, man. I mean, now long term, of course, that's a different story. But for what I know you like to do, from a trading perspective.
Bearish, that is. My stance on it is bearish.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Bearish.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's. I thought you were looking to go long. I said, okay. Yeah, we're in the same boat
I
right
log
here.
on anything this week.
This is okay. Well, short play on Nike. Best ones right now on that. Let me get off that. I don't want to go that weekly right there. At 120 looks good. Got 3,000 open interest. And if you want to go deep in the money on that put, we're looking at puts, guys. I think I have my screen up. The 125 puts are strong. And I think, let's see what the sentiment is right now. Yeah, it's bearish right now. The puts are outnumbering the calls, and within the money, puts are strong, very, very strong. It's 61 to 80 deltas right now. So heavily
What was
bearish.
the strike price again?
Huh?
What was the strike price again?
120 is a strike. 120 put is the November 20th. 120 is a strong one.
Awesome.
And then another strong one is the 125. And let's go. Their support 112. And you have to be prepared to set your stops just in case Nike wants to act, how it wants to act. And Kaepernick may come out and say, I'm doing what I do, and just do it. And that could pop the stock, and then President Trump can come out and say something, man. So just set the parameters. That's a bear flag lining up right now. There's a little bit of support, but there's some room to run to maybe 117. I wouldn't go too far out of the money if you try, guys. Let's see one thing real quick. Trump wears Nike. Wow. I bet he does. I thought he wore like those therapeutic shoes that my grandmother used to wear when she was nursing back in the day, man. Those big SAS shoes or whatever. Anyway, that's not nice, man. But Eli, we'll do Eli. And hey, JR, what are you looking for with Eli? Are you looking long term, buy and hold? Oh, Callaway Golf, just what did they do, man? They bought the They bought the that golf place, man. They're trying to jump into entertainment. They bought Top Golf. So I don't know when that, if it was already priced into it, but we're having a pullback, a big time bearish pullback. If you're going long term buy and hold, just like I said in the beginning, you have to just live with with your game plan. But here's a shelf of support right in there. What's that range? 1465. It's bounced off that a couple times. It bounced off that in November uh, 2018. Rona just changed the game. With it didn't matter what the shelf of support was, but previously, and it's also respected this level in June. You know, early June, it's respected, and it's showing that it found some support a little bit. If we go a little bit closer in, there's a gap to fill, and it really it came down to that level again, guys. And you can see history speaks, and price has a memory. Came to that level again, so there's a gap to fill right below here, though. Jr. Like 1324. What's the high? 1320. So if you hop in, you possibly could go back and retest 1320. There's stronger support down here below 14. So you might be getting in a little bit cheaper at 14, but don't. If you want to accumulate shares, you can accumulate some now. You accumulate when on the pullback. This has to be because we're curling up on the RSI. It's looking like it's trying to find a little bit of support, but if it's oversold now, doesn't mean it won't go a little bit lower. So the the trend has it's like we're looking for a trend reversal to find, and it's searching. Price is searching for support. It's going down on declining volume, so it's not a strong sell off, but it was just a crazy gap. I'm thinking earnings must have been recent. Um, ELY, because they were in the news off of that Top Golf acquisition, uh, Compass upgrades Callaway from neutral. A lot of times that what are we 6 to 12 months out with those analyst upgrades and those price targets sometimes. So uh, just go with that, man. And if you're a golfer, if you're working on if you're playing against old man par, Callaway has positioned themselves for the future with Top Golf. And the thing about it, you might be positioning yourself in a really good position because right now nobody's people are going to Top Golf, but it will definitely pick up once we get through the pandemic situation. Hope that helps out a little bit. If you want me to look at an option, just let me know. Um, it, I can't recommend any option. This gap will be filled up here at some point in time, but who's to say if this smaller gap isn't filled first? So, but you need a little bit of time on Callaway. But guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We're at the 7:30 mark. We're close to it. We're at close to 7:30. So here, let me give you my email address. Just email me so I can put you guys on the email list. This is going to be every Sunday, um, and we'll just talk about different topics, try to motivate each other eventually. And I just wanted to do a tester tonight. I kind of changed the format. Um, Email me, let me know you came tonight, please, so I can thank you guys, and then I'll just keep you on the email list and make a move. But let's see what the right now futures are kind of flat. Nasdaq is down $1.75, 250. Gold's up, of course. Dow futures are down just a tick, so we're kind of flat, guys. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out. I'm gonna stop recording. Shout out to my lovely wife for coming through. Thank you, baby. And thank y'all, Kyle. And I, I should be open tomorrow, Robin, because I'm here finally. Oh yeah, guys. Look here, just come on back in. Thank you, Robin, for reminding me. I'm looking at probably like 7:30 Central, 8 o'clock Central. I'll have this will be the trading room. We'll have the trading room open. A lot of times Larry Williams will come in, Robin will come in, Mo, Kylan, Keisha, and y'all are welcome to come in and hang out and let's just talk the market and bring your stocks and let's make some money. Oh, let's become better traders and then save some money and then get better. But thank y'all for coming in, and I will talk with y'all later. All right, got the email on there. Just email me so I can update you. But this will be the link. Hey, use this link and the same passcode. I think y'all know the song 777-9311. All right, guys. Yeah, use my email. It's in the chat bar. You can email me. I'm not gonna email you guys until I do the group email. Sorry. All right, guys. Hey,
All right,
Mo,
take care.
Mo Fuller, man, I knew I forgot to mention my boy. I'll catch you guys on the what is
Good
it?
look, JD. Good look.
Appreciate it. Hey, appreciate it, Larry. I'll catch y'all on the
In
what
the
is the
AM.
thing called, man? Telegram. Yeah, Telegram. Do I have the link to that too? Let's see if I had the link. Anyway, y'all will get it, man. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Okay.